Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome to Diego Knows. I'm Diego, and tonight, we're going to talk some more about Sex and the City. That's right, that wonderful show from the late '90s and early 2000s. I'm Diego. I watched every single episode of Sex and the City. I also watched both movies, and I watched that piece of crap show. And just like crap, do not watch it. That show sucks. I re-reviewed it. My video's already on here if you want to see what I thought about that piece of shit show. But no, I'm going to talk about the good show today. Okay, tonight. All right, I actually enjoyed the show. Okay, I watched every single episode because I enjoyed the show. I loved Sex and the City. I thought the show was great. I had some problems with it, just like any other show. No show was perfect, okay? And I had some problems with Sex and the City. The only real problem I had with Sex and the City was the way they portrayed the straight guys on the show. It was not realistic. It was not believable at all, and I didn't buy it for 1 second. Okay, I don't know where these not real men that were being portrayed on the show. Not at all. Okay, so that's the biggest problem I had with the show. Other than that, the show was great. I love the characters. I love the storylines. Okay, I love the drama. I love the little twists. You know, all the dialogue. It was all on point. The acting was really good too. Okay, I just did not like the way the straight guys are being portrayed on the show. The show was written by gay guys, lesbians, and feminists. They don't know what the fuck a straight guy is, so they made it up, and this is what they gave us. All right. Most guys were not watching this show. That's why nobody complained about it. Okay, most straight guys were not watching this show. I was the only straight guy I knew that was watching this show on a regular basis. Okay, I was caught up on who was dating who, where everybody was in their relationship, because I was hooked on the show. I loved it. I watched Sopranos and I watched Second City right at HBO. All right, and I lived in a big city at the time, so you know I was a young man. I was in my 20s. I was there from the very beginning. Yeah, I watched the show from the very beginning. Okay. And I was a big fan. I was actively dating back then. You know, like I said, I was a younger guy. I was just out of the Marines. I was going to college during the day. I was working at restaurants and nightclubs at night. I had a lot of friends that were actors, that were musicians, stand-up comedians, models, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I was very much into that cultural scene of living in a big city, going out and partying, hanging out with your friends, getting drunk, getting laid, all that kind of shit. I was doing it, okay? Well, I'm young. I was in my 20s. That's what you do when you're in your 20s, okay? And all the hot girls I knew were watching Sex and the City, so that's what piqued my interest. And then I got hooked, all right? So yes, I love the show. I love the lifestyle. I was doing the same thing they were doing, only that I was a good 10, 15 years younger than they were. That's all. Otherwise, we were doing the same shit they were doing, all right? Excuse me. Okay. So I do have to warn you, okay, what I do here is I give you a straight man's point of view, okay? I give you the point of view that you did not get when you originally watched this show, if you're a fan of the show, which or else you wouldn't be watching my channel if you weren't a fan of the show, okay, like me, all right? So I'm going to tell you what nobody told you, okay? Now, I know a lot of you women out there watch the show with your girlfriends, or maybe you made your boyfriend sit through a few episodes, or your husband, or whatever, okay? Or your gay friends, your gay best buddies, whatever, you all watch the show together. That's fine, nothing wrong with that, that's fine, okay? But that's not what I'm going to give you, okay? If you want that information, you binge watch it with your girlfriends, okay? Watch it with your gay friends, okay? I'm not gonna give you that shit, okay? I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth from a straight man's point of view, okay? I do not censor myself here, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I do not know you. I have nothing personal against you, okay? I'm telling you a straight man's point of view. If you get offended by it, tough titty. Get the fuck out, okay? I'm giving you a straight man's point of view, all right? I'm going to tell you what your dad didn't tell you, what your boyfriend didn't tell you, what your husband didn't tell you, okay? Now, it's a straight man's point of view, not every man's point of view, okay? Men are different, just like women are all different too, okay? I'm telling you from this straight man's point of view, who watched every single episode, this is what I thought about it. This is honestly what I thought was believable, what was not believable, okay? And the only reason I give you my point of view is because I was living that lifestyle as well at that time. I was younger than they were, okay? That's the only reason I do this, okay? I'm not an architect trying to criticize, theater, okay? I'm not, okay, I was a fan of the show, and I lived in a big city at that time. I was actively dating. I was going through all the same shit they're going through, pretty much, okay? Only from a guy's point of view, all right? Now, there should be a Sex and the City for men, but that show's never going to fucking happen because it would be called sexist, okay? They would never allow that show. Even back then, they would never allow that show, okay? It's only okay to be sexist when women are doing it. It's not okay to be sexist when guys are doing it, okay? Unfortunately, that's really the way it is, okay? So I'm going to give you a straight man's point of view. Hey, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. Like I said, these are my opinions, okay? I don't know everything. I'm just telling you what I think, all right? Okay, so here we go. This is actually part 2. I already reviewed the first 20 minutes of this episode in my last video. This is part 2. I might go to part 3 because there's a lot of shit going on in this video, but hopefully I can wrap it all up right here, right now. Okay, so here we go. So where we left off last time, Samantha has decided that she's perfect, but she wants to get a boob job because she's perfect. So she wants to get a boob job. Okay, good for you, Samantha. Apparently she's nervous and jealous, all right? We'll get to that. Miranda has proposed to Steve. Yes, Miranda proposed to Steve. She did it over some fucking $3 beers where they're sitting at a patio at a beer garden. Okay, yeah, so they're getting married now. Okay, but she does not want a traditional wedding, no white dress, no fucking band, and I guess no bachelorette party either, which is weird for this show. No bridesmaids, none of that fucking bullshit. Okay, they decided, which means that she decided they're gonna have their fucking wedding at some fucking some garden, some public garden near their house. I guess I don't know. I guess it'll be cheap. Okay. Meanwhile, Charlotte got on Harry, her husband, because I guess he's not being romantic enough. Well, she didn't get on him, but she was bragging about how romantic Carrie's new boyfriend, Alex Petrovsky, is, the Mad Russian, and so she was talking about it to Harry, so now Harry feels he's not being romantic enough to his wife, so he promised her, you know what, I'm going to give you the most romantic night of your life. I'm going to take you out on the town, and we're going to be romantic all the way, So he decided he's going to do that for his wife, Charlotte. Okay, and then Carrie, meanwhile, her boyfriend, Alex Petrovsky, the Russian, the Mad Russian, who's a good 2 inches shorter than her. But he was a ballet dancer and she wasn't. Okay, anyway, he started reading her poetry, some Russian fucking poetry, to be romantic, and he was taking it seriously, and Carrie's like, what the fuck is this bullshit? This is stupid. And then he played her song that he wrote. And he named it something like, "You have beautiful sparkly eyes" or some shit like that. It's like, what the fuck? And Carrie's like, no, this is bullshit. So even she thinks this is stupid. He's trying to be romantic. I guess this works because he's a famous painter. He's a famous artist. So he fucked every supermodel in the 1970s at Studio 54. So apparently it worked back then. Maybe, yeah, but he put a lot of effort to be romantic for her. Like, he's doing the kind of shit that royalty does when they're courting a woman, Like a prince, he's not going to go up there and fucking take her to Pizza Hut, okay, for a date. He's going to fucking have a fucking carriage pick her up and take her to the opera, and they're all going to be wearing tuxedos and dresses and all that kind of shit, It's not going to be, like, that's what Alex is like, but that's not, most people are not like that. But when the fuck did this show ever show most people? It only shows that small fucking demographic of straight men that are out there. Okay, they're all millionaires, they're all successful artists, they're all corporate executives, they're all famous chefs. Okay, they're all studio executives. They're all published authors. Okay, they're models. Professional models. They're that's the guys, the nightclub owners. Those are the only guys that hit on these women. These middle-aged alcoholic sluts. They're the only guys that hit on them. Okay, it's not realistic at all. Bullshit flag. The whole show's a bullshit flag. I'm sorry, but it is. Okay. So anyway. So her current boyfriend is Alexander Petrovsky. Alexander Petrovsky. Anyway, so yeah, he's like all fucking eccentric and shit. Anyway, okay, so now we're caught up. All right. So basically, Samantha and Carrie and Charlotte, they go out shopping to get a wedding gift from Miranda. She doesn't want anything fancy. She does not want a traditional wedding. She just wants something low key, very plainclothes, very blue collar. She doesn't give a shit about the whole pageantry involved in planning a wedding and and no wedding planner. What the fuck is that? None of that shit. She wants it very simple, very quick. All right. Charlotte wants to get her this fucking plate that she saw. The girls are like, hey, no, that's like a really nice, classy place. She's not going to like that. And so Charlotte's like, well, why don't I just fucking get her a stapler and a fucking paper bag and cover it with dog shit? You think she'll like that? Will that be low class enough for her? And they're like, okay, fine, get the fucking plates. And then Samantha's like, you know what? There's something I got to admit, okay? She's like, and she's like, there's something I got to tell you girls. And Carrie's like, oh my God, Samantha, I swear to God, if you tell me you're about to get married and you're going to leave me alone, I'm going to fucking kill you right now. She's like, no, nothing like that. Okay, I just want to tell you that, as you know, I've always loved my body just the way it is. I have a perfect abs, okay? I have legs to die for, and my ass is perfection. So I'm getting a boob job. Okay. They're like, what? What the fuck? Like, since when are you getting? She's like, since this, and she pulls out this fucking magazine. I don't know where the fuck the magazine was. She pulled out an InStyle magazine, and there's a spread on there on Jared, like on Smith Jared, her boy toy right now, not boyfriend, her boy toy right now. Yeah, apparently he's in L.A. doing something. He's been gone for a couple weeks, so he's not in this episode. But apparently the paparazzi have been following him along. He's like the hottest guy right now in the world. Of course, Samantha's dating him because she's a good fucking 17, 15 years older than him. 17 years older than him. So yeah, of course she's fucking him, right? And of course she's helping him with his career. She's the one that made him famous. Okay, and of course nobody points that out in the show, that maybe that's the reason he's fucking her. Okay, it's because she's helping his career for free. She's a professional publicist in Manhattan, and he's getting all of her services for free. And all he's got to do is fucking lay the pipe every once in a while. Okay, so yeah, that's a pretty good fucking deal, especially when you're 28 years old and you have no fucking money. She's fucking, she catapulted him straight to the top of the hot 30 under 30 category there, right? So yeah, so I guess he's filming a movie or something in fucking LA. Who gives a shit? Anyway, so she's all jealous now because a lot of the pictures of Smith Jerrod are with her. She's in half of the pictures in the magazine, the spread, and her tits are small because I mean, Kim Cattrall's got small tits. She always has had small tits. Nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't throw her out of bed for it, But she's got to compare herself to all the fucking 20-something girls that are hitting on him now, okay? Because now he's famous. His fucking sexual market value just skyrocketed him. He was already a super good-looking guy, but nobody knew who the fuck he was. There's plenty of fucking super good-looking guys that nobody knows about, okay? But now everybody knows about this guy, so his popularity went up. Basically the Jason Momoa syndrome. I mean, Jason Momoa has been around since the fucking 90s. Fight. Christ, the fucker was on Baywatch. Did you remember that? No, of course you didn't, okay? Nobody knew who the fuck he was until he played Khal Drogo on fucking Game of Thrones, and then his fucking SMV went straight through the fucking roof, okay? That's basically what's happening to Smith Jerrod right now. Yesterday, nobody knew who the fuck he was. He was just a fucking waiter at a fucking raw fucking restaurant where they didn't cook the food, and now he's fucking like the fucking hot guy. He's on MTV now and shit. He's got a big fucking billboard in Times Square of himself naked with a bottle of vodka where his cock should be. Samantha made all that happen, okay? So now she's jealous because of all the hot younger women. They're gonna fucking steal him away from her, so she wants to be able to compete with them. Okay, well, you can't turn back the clock, Samantha. You can't. Okay, you're 45. You had your time. You were 28 once. What'd you do with it? Did you do what Smith Jerrod's doing? No, you didn't. You were probably busting your ass trying to get your PR firm up and going, right? Yeah, more than likely, that's probably what you were doing. That you were doing that, and you were riding the cock carousel. Okay, so you already had your 28-year-old experience. Okay, don't take his away from him. Let him date the fucking young girls, but she ain't gonna do that because he belongs to her now, right? Right? Okay, so yeah, so okay, so she's jealous. Again, the show ain't gonna tell you this. I'm telling you this. She's jealous. She wants to be able to compete with these younger women, so she wants to get a boob job. Okay, because she's perfection. Yeah, right. No, she's insecure. Okay, she realizes there's hotter, younger women out there, basically, because she used to be one of those women back in the day, okay, and now she has to compete with those women. She has to compete with herself, basically, okay, and that's a tough pill to swallow, especially when you've relied on your looks for everything in your life, okay? I'm not saying that Samantha doesn't have other attributes besides her looks. She does. Okay, like I said, she's probably like an incredible PR person. What we've seen of her at work, she's very good at what she does. Okay, but okay, that's not where she gets her validation. She gets her validation from boning. Okay, but she's getting older. She's aging up. Okay, she hit the wall years ago. Sorry, but she did. I love Samantha. She's got great personality, great confidence. Although her ego needs to be put in check every once in a while. Okay, there's only some. I think maybe after the 500th or 600th time she told me how fucking great she is, I started getting like, okay, you know what? You're starting to get on my nerves now. Okay, like I don't need to hear you. People with self-confidence don't have to tell you every 30 seconds how great they are. They don't have to do that. All right, but Samantha apparently does. Don't get me wrong. I love Samantha, but god damn it, she got a fucking ego. I've known guys like this, every fucking day all they do is talk about how great they are. After a while it gets fucking old. Even if you like them, after a while it gets fucking old. All right? This is the 6th season I've been dealing with Samantha now, okay? Yeah. I think I got her personality down, Don't tell me how great you are, show me. That's when I respect you, Samantha, when you show me. Not when you tell me, when you show me. You don't have to fucking tell me every fucking day how great you are. All right, you don't tell me how your legs are perfection, okay, and all that kind of, and your abs are perfect, okay, because you know what, I'm a guy, and I'm not looking at you like the way your girlfriends are gonna look at you, and I'm gonna tell you what your girlfriend's gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the fucking truth, all right? You're aging up, babe. You're aging up, all right? You look great for a 45-year-old, and for a 45-year-old, all right? So that's going on here. So that's why she's gonna get a boob job. Okay, Charlotte's like, I can't believe you want a boob job. And Carrie's like, I can't believe you went to Planet Hollywood, because the photographers were following her around, And Charlotte's like, you are a confident, intelligent woman. Message. Why would you want to look like a bimbo? Okay, Charlotte, do you realize who you're fucking talking to here? Okay, like all of you fucking sleep around a lot. A lot, okay? And out of all 4 of you, Samantha's the worst one. Okay, and you just said, why would you want to look like a bimbo? Maybe because she fucking is a bimbo? Did you ever fucking think about that? Why do you want to look like a slut? Because she's a fucking slut! That's what sluts look like! Jesus Christ, Charlotte. I know you're not the smartest one, but damn. I mean, that you walk right into that. Come on. Out of the four of you, the biggest slut of all of you is the one you're going like, why do you want to look like a slut for? Come on. If anything, Samantha, she doesn't hide her sluttiness, okay? She flaunts it. You know? So it's not like she's like, hey, shut the fuck up. Don't call me that. Nobody needs to know that. You know? That's private. No, she tells everybody. Okay? So that's going on here. Okay? And, yeah, you know, and also I think it was kind of weird, ironic that Charlotte was the one that said that. Why would you get implants? Okay, when you fast forward 18 years from this episode, you know, I mean, Shaw's covered in fucking Botox. She don't even look like fucking Kristen Davis anymore. She looks like fucking something else, dude. Like someone fucking have like fucking pillows inside all of her cheeks and shit. Her lips are way the fuck up to here now, and you can tell that she's had work done around her eyes and shit. It's just like, damn. Come on, why didn't you just age gracefully, Kristen Davis? Age gracefully. There's no shame in getting older. It happens to everybody if you're lucky. Okay, what you look like is like a woman who fucking can't handle the fact that she's getting older and is trying to do something about it, and it's so fucking obvious that she got injections done. Like, come on, just age gracefully. Oh, God. Women that try to do the Botox thing, they look worse. Yeah. Says a lot. And these are women that were hot back in the day. I'm talking like, look at Famke Janssen. My God, man. Remember her in X-Men? That came out in 2000. Remember how good she looked in that movie? Now look at her. Yeah. Look at Melanie Griffith. Oh, my God. Remember that movie Something Wild from the late 80s? Remember that? Now look at her. Anyway. Okay. Moving right along. I mean, Cher. Come on. All right. So anyway, moving right along. You don't want to end up that way. Don't go like Meg Ryan did. Don't do that. Don't. It's bad. I mean, even Megan Fox, even she went there, man. Miss Transformers. I mean, look at that, dude. Like, what the fuck? She did like in her 20s. She got the Botox put in. Just like, no, that's too young. What is wrong with you women out there? You're not fooling anybody. I don't even think you're doing it for us. Honestly, I don't think you're doing it for men. I think you're doing it for each other. That's what I think. All right. So anyway, so that's going on. Samantha's like, I'm going to get something tasteful. I want to get some tasteful titties, like Carrie here. You know, okay, well, Carrie's got nice titties. She does. Hey, Carrie looks good. When she wants to, she looks good. When she's dressed like a clown, she don't look good. But when she wants, I'll never forget that opening scene. The episode of this season where Big came to visit when he showed up to get his heart surgery. Remember that episode? Remember that opening scene where Carrie was just strutting down the street on her way to the restaurant, you know, playing with her hair and shit? Oh my God, baby, don't you realize you can get fucked looking like that? Yeah, she looked good. She looked real good that scene. She looked real good, yeah. And I remember what she looked like in Dudley Do-Right. Remember that? Yeah, you saw Dudley Do-Right, didn't you? Yeah, you did. Anyway, never mind. Okay, we're not talking about Dudley Do-Right. Okay, so anyway, so that's going on. All right. Meanwhile, Carrie and Alex are back together. And they are seated near a fireplace. Of course they are, being romantic. You know, they're at his posh palatial loft. Okay, which looks like a fucking multimillionaire's place. I mean, the place is beautiful. It's got a fireplace. It's got a stairway that goes up there. I mean, it's a gorgeous fucking place. I would love to live in a place like that. Incredible view of the city. Like, you know, wall-sized mirrors. I mean, wall-sized windows. I mean, beautiful. I know it's a movie set, but if there really are apartments like that, I'm sure there are. I've probably been in one a couple of times, but I don't know, I was drunk. But yeah, it's a beautiful place. So they're sitting there on the couch, okay, by the fireplace, of course. He's reading her poetry out of a Russian poetry book by Joseph Brodsky, a famous Russian poet. I don't know who the fuck he is. I don't read poetry. Really, so I'm thinking to myself, okay, really, Alex, that's what you do for fun? Is you just read poetry? You know, I mean, I know you're 53 years old, but, like, you know, don't you ever watch TV? I guess, hey, to each his own, okay? And Carrie tries not to laugh as he reads poetry to her. And it's the stupid fucking shit, you know, oh, and her lovely eyes. And her ass looked like a bagel in the moonlight. You know, that kind of bullshit, you know. And Carrie's trying not to laugh, okay? It's bullshit. Alex, he seems to think that women like this. Okay, and like I said, because he has such a high sexual market value, because he's such a famous artist and he knows everybody in New York, just like these girls do. He knows everybody who's everybody. And they all know who he is. Okay, because of that status that he has, that social status, that high social status, which is the number one thing that turns women on, is a man with a very high social status, the popular guy. There's one thing to be popular in high school. There's another thing to be popular like in real life. Okay, and he's one of the popular guys. All the guys that these girls date are like the popular guys, okay, on purpose, okay, because that's what turns women on, popularity. Okay, it doesn't matter what you look like as long as you're popular, okay. So yeah, because of that status that he has, he feels he can get away with doing whatever the fuck he wants, because he knows that what woman's gonna reject him? No, they're not. I can do whatever. He can take a shit on the floor. It doesn't fucking matter. He's Alexander Petrovsky, A girl would be lovely to fucking smell that shit, okay? To pick it up in her hands and smell it for him. Because he's Alexander Petrovsky. You see what I mean? He gets that kind of respect, okay? There's very few guys out there that can do this and get away with it, and he is one of them, apparently, Think about like dictators and shit, okay? They have no problem getting girls. Think about famous movie stars, celebrities, rock stars. They have no problem getting girls. Okay, I guarantee you, there's a chick who made it to a fucking Jonas Brothers apartment and fucking did this. I'm sure she picked up what's the name? One of the Jonas Brothers took a shit on the floor. She picked it up in her hand, smelt it, and licked it, and said, "More. I guarantee you that happened in real fucking life. Nah. Miss Deepak Chopra's daughter, no, he ain't gonna tell her that. But yeah, it happened in real life. Okay, you know why? Because who gives a fuck? Because guys like that, they don't give a fuck. Oh, you don't like it? Get the fuck out. I got 500 women better looking than you right behind you in line. They'll be more than happy to pick it up and ask for seconds and thirds. Okay, you see what I mean? So he's got like that mentality that he can just do whatever the fuck he wants because every girl's just gonna love him anyway. Why? Because he's Alexander Petrovsky. Like if I do it, no. That'll turn a woman off, but he does it. Oh, I'm Alexander Petrovsky. Of course she's going to like it. You see what I mean? Okay. So I guess he thinks that, but it's not working on Carrie. Okay. It's not working. Carrie thinks it's stupid. Thinks he's being stupid. Okay. And like he's acting like a guy who's trying too hard to seduce a woman. A guy who read a book on how to seduce women and he's going through all the checklists. And it doesn't fucking work. Reading poetry does not fucking work. Okay. There is a way to be romantic, but in poetry, that shit died out. Maybe in other parts of the world it works, but this is America. Okay. That shit died out a long time ago. Okay. It really did. All right. If you look at the people that get attracted to each other, especially look at the younger kids, the ones in their 20s, early 30s, they don't get turned on by poetry. I'm not saying all women. I'm saying in general. Okay. No. Like the poetry. So I've read poetry before. I'm an artist myself. I've drawn pictures before for women. Okay. But I always did that after I got to know them. Okay. After I already knew that there was something they were interested in. I remember I dated a girl once, and we would talk all the time about art. I was an artist, and she would always talk about art, And once in a while, I think once I mentioned a conversation, I could always draw a picture of you, and it would look just like you, And she's like, oh yeah, I doubt you could do that. Okay, well I didn't do it right away. Okay, we still kept dating each other. Okay, and once I knew she was into me, that she really thought I was the shit. Then I surprised her one day with a picture of her that I drew, and it looked just like her. She's like. Because I remember something that she had mentioned a while back. You see what I mean? That's how you do it. You don't just I'm not going to bring a girl to my apartment and then we're sitting down and all of a sudden I'm going to fucking start playing, Transformers the movie from 1985 and expect her to really be into it. She's probably not going to be into it. I need to know what she's into first. I'm just going to hit her with all the shit that I like. Of course not. That's not going to work. Okay, anyway. So that's going on here. Yeah, and Carrie's like, well, how about I read you some of my poetry? He's like, okay, go ahead. And she pulls out her fucking Vogue magazine and she reads off basically this little article about a dress designed by Oscar de la Renta, whoever the fuck that is. Okay, I know you girls know who that is. Okay, I think I know who he is too. Right, but I just don't give a shit. You know why? Because I'm a straight man's point of view. That's why. Okay, so reading from the fashion section, okay, of Vogue. Blah, blah. I wasn't paying attention to what she read either. But Alex was like, Oscar, yes, he's a friend of mine. I will let him know that you like that dress. Okay, it's this pink fluffy dress that was in the magazine. She showed it to him. Okay, so you don't like poetry, eh? How is that you do not like poetry? And Carrie's like, I'm sorry. Perhaps we were not properly introduced, Alexander. I write a column based on the assumption that romance is dead or phony. Okay? Well, it is. It is dead or phony because feminism killed it. That's why. Okay? So you think I'm phony? She's like, no. I'm the one who feels phony. I'm not used to these grand gestures. No other man ever read you a poem or played music for you. No, they didn't. Well, they didn't have to, Carrie, because you fucked him anyway. Okay, you did. Okay, they didn't have to do all that stuff. They already. I mean, he was already balls deep in you before you thought about fucking that. About maybe this guy ought to earn this. No. He was already what you wanted. So, and you were horny. So, I mean, come on. Okay, maybe not that bad. All right, but I mean, like, what? Why would a guy that has to go through all that to get laid ain't gonna get laid? Okay, guy. Most guys out there know. They have a sense of whether or not the girl they're talking to is into them or not. Okay, they got that sense. And now I know you girls like to seduce men and stuff, okay, and give us mixed signals, okay. But there's certain just things that you can't like pin down, okay. But there's certain ways that you just understand whether a girl is into you or not, okay. And you can feel it. She might be polite to you, she might be nice to you, she might hold your hand or something like that. That doesn't mean she's into you. That doesn't mean she's gonna fuck you, okay. There's other ways to gauge that, all right? So if a guy with any sort of self-respect, any sort of self-confidence, if he's trying to lay it on that thick, hoping it's gonna work, he's already failed. He shouldn't have had to lay on anything thick. He should have just been himself, Should present his best self and feel her out, You don't give too much away, but you try to feel her out. What is she into? What is she like? Do I match that for her? Am I what she's looking for? And if you're getting the sense that, well, maybe I'm not what she's looking for, but I want her anyway, well, then you're fucked up too. Okay, so that doesn't work either. Okay, so you can pick up on that. Okay, if there's no chemistry, there's just no fucking chemistry. There's no point in trying to make some. Okay, there's way too many fucking women out there in the world, guys. Okay, to try to spend your whole fucking so much of yourself invested into one that you don't even fucking know very well. Sorry. Once you start getting the girls, start returning your affections, then you get on the roll. Then you'll start working through women through your system and you'll get better at it, okay? But if the chemistry's not there, don't look for it. Just go to the next one. Who fucking says you have to put everything in all your eggs in one basket? Nobody. All right? And that will help your confidence. You got to be rotating women through your life. That's the only way. And you know what? And no woman's going to tell you this, guys, but that's actually what women like. They like guys that feel confident and comfortable around women, especially beautiful women. Because that's less work for them. They don't have to put you at ease. You're already at ease. You see what I mean? That turns a woman on. And you only get that way by, getting it done. Sorry, it's true. All right. All right. Well, at least that's my experience. Okay. All right. So anyway, so that's going on here. Okay. So she says that nobody ever fucking was that romantic to her. Okay. Meanwhile, Carrie decides, she calls Miranda and tells, while Miranda's wedding shopping, I guess Miranda decided to go wedding start shopping for a wedding dress during her lunch break. Yeah. Okay. That's how much energy she's putting into this thing. So Carrie calls her while she's shopping for a wedding dress, and Miranda actually takes the call and talks to her while she's yelling at the fucking lady at the dress store about, I don't like that. I told you I didn't want white. This is bone. I don't like that. I said no white. That kind of shit. So Carrie decides this is a perfect opportunity to tell her about her problems. Okay, so while she's dress shopping, so she does not want the white dress, yeah, and Carrie talks about Alex, because that's what she should be doing when her best friend is shopping for a wedding dress. And Carrie says, like, well, he read me this Russian poem in English, and Miranda's like, oh, okay, you're making this up now, Carrie. Yes, you are. She's like, no, I'm not, and I don't think it was an act. I think he means it. And Miranda's like, that's not okay. He doesn't consider your feelings. And Carrie's like, you're right. He's a selfish pig. No, actually, you're acting like the selfish pig, Carrie. But this is what you do. It's what you do. Miranda's like, well, tell him that this romance shit is giving you the icks, okay, and turning you off. Okay, you're not fucking Anna Karina. And Carrie says, I can't tell him that. If you're so anti-romance, then why the hell are you having a wedding and all? Why not just go to the city hall? And Miranda's like, I thought about doing that, Carrie, but I want to say my vows out loud. And Carrie's like, okay, you're my cynical touchstone, Miranda. Do you promise to always stay that way? And Miranda's like, I do. Okay, that brings us to the thesis of this episode, which is, have we become romance intolerant? Have we become romance intolerant, okay? Well, basically, like I've been saying already, like romance is like what we think of romance, like the medieval romance, that romance, that died a long time ago. Okay, that stuff doesn't work anymore for a lot of different reasons, because first of all, it comes off as phony, as really like you're trying too hard. Okay, like you're looking desperate. If a guy tries to do that, he looks desperate. He really does. Okay, and the fact that most women will put out without having to do any of that shit. So why does just because one guy goes through all this trouble to impress a woman doesn't mean that he's going to impress her as much as a different guy who didn't do any of that stuff and got her anyway. You see what I mean? So why invest so much into one woman when another guy doesn't have to invest anything and he'll get her and you won't? You see what I mean? That's the thing, okay? We have a sense of not wanting to get conned, okay? If I know that there's this girl, well, first of all, I would never date a girl if all my friends fucked her. But if I knew there was a girl that all my friends had already fucked, okay, and now she wants to fuck me, I'm not gonna go meet her with a bouquet of flowers. You know why? Because they never had to bring her fucking flowers to fuck her, okay? They didn't have to do that. So why the fuck should I? Okay, that makes me look like a fucking idiot. Okay, that makes me look like I'm fucking spending fucking 50 grand on a car that's worth 5 grand. You see what I mean? Who's the idiot here? Me. Okay, don't be the idiot. That's another reason. And feminism, yeah. I can hold my own doors. No, but you like it when we do it, right? Yeah. You can't pay for your own date though, right? No, you can't. Oh, you don't like that one, do you? All right. So anyway, Harry takes Charlotte out to this French restaurant, and he tries to read the menu in French to the waiter. Okay, but his French is like he studied in high school and that was the last time he spoke it. So his French is not that good. And of course, Charlotte's just sitting there looking at her husband, trying to act romantic. Okay, basically it's the equivalent of what was that show? Fucking Everybody Loves Raymond, or one of those shows where you got the dad, the dad. The dad bod guy who's trying to act like he's a stud, like the John Goodman type from Roseanne. Imagine him trying to act like he's all fucking suave and sexy and European. Yeah, exactly. And that's how Harry comes across, okay? He comes across that way, like a guy who's trying too hard to impress his wife. Okay, why would you do that? Okay, she already fucking married you. The only reason you're doing now, if you did this on your own to surprise her, just because you wanted to, that would be different. But that's not what Harry's doing here. The only reason he's doing this is because she mentioned how romantic Alexander was being. So now he feels threatened that he's not being romantic enough. Okay, that Charlotte's fantasizing about Alexander because he's more romantic than Harry is. So now Harry wants to validate himself to his own fucking wife. You should never have to do that. Ladies, you should never have to validate yourself to your fucking husband every day. Okay? And guys, you shouldn't have to validate yourself to your wife every day. That's fucking bullshit. If you want to do something like that, do it on your own. Do it just because you want to. Just because you love your wife. Okay? Not because you feel threatened. Okay? Because because her friend has a better boyfriend than she has a husband. Okay? That's just insecurity and it fucking shows. Big time. But of course, Charlotte's going, oh my God, this is so funny. Look at my husband trying to act like he's a romantic Frenchman. Well, what are you doing, Charlotte? What are you doing? We see what he's doing for you. What are you doing for him? Nothing. You're not doing anything for him. Nothing that you didn't do yesterday or the day before or the day before. Okay? You see what I mean? This is a very one-sided situation here. Okay? Anyway, like I said, no problem. If he had done it on his own just because he wanted to do it for his wife, perfect. That's a good husband, okay? But he's doing it because he feels insecure. That's not a good reason to do shit like this, all right? Especially when you get nothing out of it, It's not like she's been withholding sex and now you're going to get sex if you take her out to eat. No. You're not getting anything out of this. She's going to treat you the same tomorrow as she did today, as she did yesterday, okay? The only one who put any effort into any of this is you, okay? And just for one day. Tomorrow, everything's going back to normal. Okay, so that's going on there. So he tries to talk to the waiter in French, of course, and Charlotte's just like, watching her husband, act like a doofus, like a simp. Okay, yeah, so that's going on here. Meanwhile, Samantha sits with 2 guys. She's at a posh bar, and they're looking at all the women go up and down the stairs. Well, down the stairs, basically. And they're looking at their tits. Okay, some of them have big tits, some of them have small. We don't see their faces, just their tits, and they're all wearing dresses. Like I said, it's a posh bar. So Samantha's there. She doesn't say anything, but she's sitting by these two guys that are just googling every girl that walks by, and they're all making comments. Like, oh my god, look at those tits! Oh my god, that right there, that's my wife right there. That bitch right over there. Oh my god, look at those titties. Oh god, you know. So these guys are just drunk and acting like fucking frat boys. And Samantha decided to sit next to them. And she's getting pissed off at them, like that's turning her off. These boobs sitting next to her. Well, why the fuck just sit next to them? Okay? My God, okay? You knew what they were talking about. They talk the same way you do when you're with your girlfriends, so what the fuck are you all upset about? If you're offended by what they're saying, go fucking sit somewhere else, for Christ's sake. Okay? You know, anyway, so she's looking at these boobs and all that, because like I said, she's going to get a boob job. And then she goes to the bartender. The bartender is this hot-ass fucking young black woman with big ass titties. I mean, they're fake, obviously, okay? But they're jiggling when she's shaking that martini. They're jiggling, you know? And so Samantha's just like, oh my God, you know? And she compliments her, the big-titted bartender. And he was like, and the bartender tells her, okay, you need to talk to Dr. Bevel, okay? They paid for themselves in tips alone, you know? And then she walks away, okay? No, they didn't. I don't know this bartender's name, but those tits did not pay for themselves. Okay, some sugar daddy paid for those tits for you, babe. Okay, I know lots of. I used to work at a titty bar. Okay, I used to be manager at a titty bar. Okay, you did not pay for those fucking titties. Okay, a middle-aged guy. Okay, paid for those titties for you, babe. Okay, you know it, and I know it. Okay. Okay, moving right along. So Carrie goes to see Alex, okay? He's in a tuxedo when she gets to his place, and she's just dressed casual. And she's like, oh my God, were we supposed to do something that I didn't know about? And he's like, oh, I got those tickets for La Travatia, which is playing at the Met tonight. You are going with me. She's like, well, I didn't know we were going anywhere like that. I guess I'll go home and change. No. No need to be quicker this way. And he invites her in, and there's this big box with a bow on it. Ooh. And she opens it up, and it's the fucking Oscar de la Renta dress. The one that she saw in the magazine. It's the dress. It's the pink dress. And she's just like, you see what I mean? You see what I fucking mean? Why does he have to validate himself to her? Why does he have to buy her a fucking dress? Who knows how much that fucking dress? Why does he have to do that? She already fucked him. Like, how the fuck is this gonna make... All you're doing is turning her into a fucking a sugar baby. You're her sugar daddy now. You're gonna pay all her fucking bills. She ain't gonna respect you like that. Okay? She's gonna fuck you as long as you keep buying her gifts like this. She's doing nothing different than what Smith Jarrett is doing. No difference. And Alex Petrovsky, maybe this is the only way he got those girls at Studio 54, is he bought them fucking Oscar de la Renta dresses. That's why they stayed with him. That's what I'm starting to think now. Okay? That's why they fucking stayed with him. You know? Yeah. So, I mean, that's the way I see it. Anyway, okay, I'm going to stop this review right now. This is the end of part 2. I will be back to finish this review in part 3. Thank you for watching this long, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.